let me welcome the absolutely beautiful and vivacious, delectable. I'm just using words to describe sexiness of food now.
Just adjectives.
You guys just have to. Oh, somebody's watching the stream. Somebody mute it.
Yep, got it.
Perfect.
Rob, we're professionals.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, guys, come on. Don't shh. Welcome to Podcast Rob and James Hatton of the Something Cast, to the live stream for the Cure, two of the biggest supporters of this event over the years. Absolutely love you guys. What is up? Welcome to the live stream for the Cure.
What's going on, man? Thank you so much for having us back again this year. Definitely an honor to be here.
I'm thrilled I was able to get to hang out with you guys so far, playing Jackbox games and goofing off. No, thank you for having us, and cheers.
Absolutely amazing. So you guys are going to be with us for the next hour. What kind of fun well, okay, before we get to the shenanigans, because there will be shenanigans. Before we get there, though, can you guys tell us, give us a little flavor, give us a little taste of what the Something Cast is all about?
Well, we've kind of evolved since we've started. We're actually coming up on our 7-year podcast anniversary this July. And if you had told me 7 years ago that we'd still be doing this, I would have laughed at you.
Same. If you told me 7 years ago we'd still like each other, I'd be amazed.
Yeah, that's true. But we started out as kind of a
co-host, so it's fine.
We started out as kind of like a bi-monthly beer and pretzels kind of pop culture podcast. And we've kind of evolved over the past couple years to doing a weekly show, but we have a different theme every week. So the first week of the month, we do our regular quote unquote podcast episode. The second week of the month, we do a something in review where we do a movie review. The third week, we do what's called Mysteries of the Somethingverse, where we've talked about like Atlantis and the Bermuda Triangle and stuff like that. And then the last week of the month, we do a show called The End, where we discuss just the series finale of a TV show, whether we have seen that TV show or any of the episodes prior to that or not.
I love that idea. I love that idea.
It's a lot of fun going into a show like 90210 where we've never seen any of it and just watching the final episode and doing a whole show on it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's absolutely amazing.
There are shows that I know I've seen the whole thing that I just want to hear what his reaction is. Eventually we'll be doing Gilmore Girls because I really just want to see Rob's reaction just from watching one episode. As a huge Gilmore fan. But yeah, we try and do all sorts of things. We also do radio dramas from time to time, like whatever we're feeling the vibe for just goes up on the site.
That's what I love. I love a good variety. I love a good mixture, or a good blending of flavors, as it were. So, as we were mentioning before, shenanigans. There will be some shenanigans at some point here. So, what do you guys have planned for us this evening? So,
we've taken a riff of an episode we did a while ago. We did an episode on zombie kill teams where Hatton and I put together our team to survive the zombie apocalypse. And then we had a guest come in and judge which team we thought was going to be the best. So we put a little bit of a spin on that, and we've decided that we're going to do heroes versus villains. We're going to pick 3 of our own. We get to choose one from the world of books, one from movies, and one from a TV show. But then our opponent gets to sandbag us with our 4th team member from any one of those 3.
Wow, look at that.
Hey, there we go.
And I wanted to put this in here as well because these are some prizes that you guys are actually going to have up for grabs during this segment. So please, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to give them away to anybody who's donating, right?
Top 3 donations. So top donation this hour is going to get their pick, and then we'll go second highest and third highest. And I got a list right here. I'll be writing them down and everything, so we're all good.
You're going to do the work? See that, Gerald? He's doing the work.
Professionals. But we have a gift certificate from Really Shameless Vinyl. We have from Scratch the Surface a set of dye shot glasses from all your different D, etc.
Those shot glasses look so cool, man.
And pack of paints from turbodork.com. They donated them to us. Great people, especially from model painters and miniatures painters. They're excellent.
Yeah, TurboDork basically said, hey, I'd love to have paints that do this. I can't find them out there anywhere, so I'm going to learn how to make paint. And they started their own business in their apartment, and now they have a couple of employees, but it's the equivalent of like batch brewing from a beer, but in model paints. And they're fantastic stuff. So they were awesome enough to donate an 8-pack of their Color Shift metallic paints to us that we're going to give away.
Very, very nice. That's amazing. That is awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
But that means we need to hear the Shane McMahon theme song.
Yeah,
it needs to happen.
Awesome.
Every time somebody donates, I'm like, money, money, money. I sing every time. I'm a huge wrestling nerd.
Every time someone donates,
the more people donate, and the more we hear that noise, the less we have to talk. So
that's also true.
The overall hour will go better the more donations we have.
So yeah, guys, make it rain, guys. Top 3 donos. Those are the prizes right down there on the stream. They're below me in the overlay. So just take a look at those, and they are right there.
And Rob buried the lead. You get to decide who wins the fight tonight.
Yep.
So
you are the guest judge.
My body is so ready for this.
So shall we start us off again? We're going 1 from movies, 1 from TV, 1 from books, and then the sandbag. You want to start us off, Rob?
I'll let you go first.
Oh, son of a Rasum. So this started because I have 2 lists, and I was telling him this earlier, so now he's using it against me. I had 2 lists. One list is the human shaped characters, and one list of like, I had Smaug on the first version. I'm like, that might just be, Smaug might be just too big. Let's go human shaped. And I put that limitation on myself. So let's start with movies. Movies is my power hitter. I needed some muscle. Oh, I'm not. Am I supposed to be going in through all my descriptions here?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. We'll give the football run up.
Yep.
So we need the muscle. So we have none other than the original T-800 Terminator. Okay. From books, I needed someone with a plan, someone with some power, and someone with a legion behind them. We chose none other than the Dark Lord himself, Voldemort.
Ooh.
And then, at the top of the list, the man who wields these units and sends them to battle from the TV show, not the comic, none other than Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin.
Would you like your sandbag now, or would you like me to list my 3 and then we'll come back to your sandbag?
I think we should come back to the sandbag. I think we should go power for power and then feel completely overwhelmed by being screwed.
Now, I want to preface the fact that James and I have not discussed our lists with each other at all. So there was no like pre-planning of any of this. And I guarantee you, 0 people watching this thread right now are going to believe any of that.
Are you? How bad is it?
So, I'll start with my book option. My book option, I went with somebody who was kind of thrust into this world and didn't necessarily want to be, even though he always kind of wanted to get out of the situation he found himself in. My first pick is The Boy Who Lived. I have Harry Potter from the books as my book pick.
Okay.
From my movie pick. This is probably one of my 2 power hitters. I kind of went with 2 different power hitters here, and they're going to complement each other like crazy. It's interesting that you chose somebody who is a machine from yours, because my power hitter from movies actually not only fights the machines, but controls the entire program that runs through everything. I went with the chosen one, Neo, for my movie option.
Wow.
A quick aside, I almost picked Agent Smith.
Okay, fair enough.
I had almost picked him. Go ahead, continue.
And then for my TV option, I went with quite possibly... not only did he save the cheerleader, but he did save the world. I went with Peter Petrelli from Heroes.
There you go.
All right. Now, again, for anybody who listens to the show, you'll notice that this happens a lot where we do our little listicle episodes, and notoriously, we start off with like 5 best things that we like, and it ends up having to be, 3 because we listed 2 of the same thing.
We share a brain, apparently.
It's miserable. All right. So it is. Let's just run me down again. We have Voldemort, Terminator, and Wilson Fisk versus, and yours?
Harry Potter, Neo, and Peter Petrelli. And your sandbag.
Oh, we're gonna just. Well, first I wanted to hear Nick's opinion. What do you think of these teams?
Oh, okay.
So let's see. So again, James has Voldemort, Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, and the Terminator, the T-800.
Yep.
Okay. And then Podcast Rob has The Boy Who Lived, Harry Potter, Neo, and Peter Petrelli. Okay.
Yep. First take.
Ooh, first take. Okay.
Before we get into the nitty gritty of the whys and the hows, we start picking each other apart. What's your first blush take on that?
Oh man, I gotta say. Now, granted, James with he who shall not be named, he who must not be named. I mean, that's going to be a probably, I think, the key in your list, depending on sandbags here. But Podcast Rob, man. You're talking, I mean, Peter Petrelli's basically got whatever power he wants, kind of. And, you know, I mean, Neo as well. I mean, man, that's a list. I don't know. I'm like, you know, little bit, maybe Podcast Rob a little bit right now, but we're going to see what kind of sandbag you're going to throw his way, because you could very, very easily tank a team lickety split.
All right. So shall we with the sandbagging, or
please?
I had to make a list. I had to write them all down. Sorry, I was writing them all down so I knew.
No worries. I had to open Wikipedia pages. I'm with you.
Yeah.
So in the same way that I looked at my starting this off and I was trying to build my list based on, you know, the optimizing, we go to the sandbag looking to minimize.
Sure.
I have a lot of powerful people. I want somebody not so powerful. Mm-hmm. I have a list of, again, 3. So I'm going to give you the 2 that didn't make it. 2 that didn't make the cut. Skolnick from Revenge of the Nerds.
Okay.
Because he's too smart.
Right.
He's too brilliant. Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Because
Loisos? I just heard Loisos somewhere.
The man's got brilliant luck.
He does.
So there's one hero.
The dog is the brains of the operation.
It's true. Don't call Velma that.
It's great.
So I had to go with someone who, even in the face of adversity, runs and screams for her father. Your sandbag, sir, is cougar bait herself, Kim Bauer.
Oh my God in heaven.
Wow.
No. Oh,
okay.
My Lord. Wow. Oh, God.
She turns this whole thing into a make sure she survives mission.
Remember how great the rest of season 2 of 24 is, and then she's meanwhile getting stuck in the woods and caught in cougar traps.
Just in the boop, 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 and it's just her walking on rocks.
All right.
Wow.
We can work with this, though. We can work with this because your sandbag, Monfrere James.
Yes, sir. My friend.
He didn't age well.
Not a good
life has not been kind for him. He ended up living in a trailer park, watching his same movie over and over again for 35 years. There is no fear in your dojo, but you do have to deal with Johnny Lawrence as your sandbag.
But now Johnny Lawrence.
Well, it can be any Johnny Lawrence, to be perfectly honest, because he's not going to help your team.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, he does know how to sweep the leg real good. We were talking about the immortal Zabka of Karate Kid fame.
Right.
Which hurts. You know, that hurts me, Rob, because you know how much I love Zabka.
Well, it was a double-edged sword. Yeah. That, and I had Sweep the Leg by No More King stuck in my head for the past week, so.
Zabka, Nick, is my favorite 80s villain of all times. In Karate Kid, just one of the guys what's the one with Rodney Dangerfield? Back to School.
Back to School, yeah.
God, Back to School is so good. Oh,
Triple
man.
Lindy. All right, so I got Johnny Lerling. Add him to my list because now he is locked, sealed, delivered. His name's not Johnny.
I'm looking at the now. Yeah, I'm just kind of. Whew. Okay.
I like that you're taking it in, Nick. I like that you're sort of absorbing it into oneself,
like osmosis. Like.
All right, my friend. Why don't you begin with how you see this battle wielding?
Whew. All right, so I think the obvious pair up of Harry Potter versus Voldemort. I'm not really sure what case I need to pitch forward because that story's already been written. We know how that matchup is going to end. But he did take on one of the most powerful menaces to the wizarding world twice. He survived twice. He is the rightful owner of the Elder Wand and will never have it taken from him because he did rebury it with Dumbledore without being defeated, without losing it. So he's got his brain smarts going on in there. He has a plethora of spells that he can use at his disposal. He's taken on Death Eaters. He's not going to have any problem. If Voldemort is the biggest issue he's going to have in your team, he's certainly not going to have any problems with Johnny Lawrence. I mean, come on. That's not even going to be an issue.
I like the way you talk about Harry Potter like he is a Man-O-War lyric. He wields the Elder Wand.
He could be.
He battles the heavens. Death to false Potter.
If we go to Peter Petrelli from there, I mean, the main reason I picked him is because
he hates redheads in the future.
Well,
zing.
But he went from having his empathic mimicry to ability replication. So anything your guys can do, Peter can do better. He just has to hang out with them for a little bit. And then he's going to get any of those powers from Voldemort, so he'll be able to wield that same dark magic. He's going to have... what were your other guys? After Voldemort, I kind of...
Oh, yeah, just faded out. Terminator? Yeah. The Terminator?
Oh, the T-1000's not even... He doesn't even have to mimic anything from the T-1000, from the T-800.
T-800.
Yeah.
And because T-1000 is way too big of a weakness. So I went with it. Anyway, yeah. Wilson Fisk.
Yeah, I think the only person he would really need to worry about is Peter could mimic Voldemort, or he could mimic Neo, who's like really kind of my heavy hitter there. He's just a twofer at that point. And I mean, putting Neo against the Terminator.
Here we go.
That seems kind of a good. Oh, we have a donation coming in. What?
$19.95 from Destruction in Human Form, Mr. Jared Taylor. Thank you so much. And he just rounded it off, guys. We're at $6,800 officially, 68% of the way to our goal of a future #immune to cancer toward that goal. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Jared. And of course, Jared is now in the top running for one of the prizes. So if you guys want a shot at one of the prizes, you just have to be one of the top 3 donors during the stream and you can win. So get those donations in. Please get those donations in right now. I'll actually blow that up a little bit on the screen so you guys can actually take a look at the prizes just a little bit closer. Nobody needs to see my face that close up. Jesus.
Yeah, we're in a podcast, not for the video.
Yeah, exactly. We have faces for radio.
Yes, I was looking at our lists. This is a perfect sort of time life chess set. Like if you're gonna have Voldemort on one side, you're gonna have Potter on the other.
Yeah,
it really is this will come to you for $20 plus shipping and handling a month for the next 64 months, and after 4 years, you can play a game of chess. The something cast time life,
memorial chess set. Yeah, I mean, the only Kim Bauer is like, she really does add zero to this team, like absolutely.
Well, yes.
The only positive thing I could say is she did work for CTU, so she using a gun is not foreign to her, and since she made it to day 8, she has some sort of survivability. So as long as she can kind of keep herself alive and not become a nuisance or a hindrance to the other members of the team,
there will be your
there's
exactly.
the rub right there.
Exactly.
Excuse me, Mr. Neo. Where's the bathroom? I had to go for hours.
Man, that was a good sandbag. She had nothing to offer here.
No,
it's like a giant anchor on the team, just a giant anchor.
Yeah, exactly. I should have given you like Bulk or Skull from the Power Rangers.
Oh
Jesus.
my!
I at least gave you somebody with some sort of martial arts skill.
Where's Justin? If Justin's in the chat right now, he probably just passed out at the mention of Bulk and Skull from the Power Rangers. I guarantee you, he's in the chat. If he's in there, Justin, if you're in there, he's got to be just backflipping right now.
Funny, I watched just to jump to the asides, as is our nature. I watched a horror movie last night, Deathgasm, which is a heavy metal zombie movie from New Zealand. The biggest sort of claim to fame this movie has, other than the most exploded heads in a single film, is that 2 of the actors in it are former Power Rangers, just randomly.
Okay.
So the guy who was doing the commentary was like, and he was in Power Rangers, and so was she.
Not the original group of Power Rangers, though.
No, one of them was Samurai, and the other one was like Neo or something.
Gotcha.
Ew.
But Deathgasm, brilliant, much better than it deserved to be.
You know, James, we've podcasted with each other long enough that I'm sensing this is a stalling technique on your part. A little bit.
Is it? No, because let's start at the top here.
Sure.
Where you may have skipped over what I think is truly the real meat of my team in the Kingpin. This is not a big giant comic book guy. This isn't Duncan from the A Fleckville movie. No. This is Big Mama Jamma Wilson Fisk. Tear you apart socially, emotionally. I would argue that if Wilson Fisk chose to destroy Harry Potter, it would be really easy. He goes home to Privet Drive and the house is in foreclosure. Aunt Petunia's gray matter coating the kitchen.
Okay, go ahead.
They'd find Dursley 6 miles away, covered in his own filth. If you're correct, if we just go line for line, Potter for Voldemort, Peter Petrelli for Wilson Fisk, Neo for the Terminator, I won't lie, I'm kind of boned. But Wilson Fisk, with a legion of Cobra Kai thuggies behind him.
There's no fear in this dojo. See, that's where Kim Bauer's going to come in. Because as good as Wilson Fisk was, the minute a woman gets involved,
that's fair.
I don't speak girl well.
And then he'll stare at a painting for 6 hours.
Exactly.
Okay. I won't lie, the Terminator versus Neo really, really boned me. Because I mean, I could argue they're a different net altogether, but it's a real.
But is it?
Is it?
Is it?
I know if I was writing that fiction, and I might later, deep into the night, that starts off with Neo infecting the Terminator and then ends in gentle petting. That's just the way I write my fiction. I can't. All I can do is hope that the Terminator would go after the other one, TV. You had Peter Petrelli. Now, at the end of Heroes, what was Peter Petrelli's power?
At the end of Heroes, Peter Petrelli he had what was called ability replication. So he could kind of, it's more limited than what he originally had. He can mimic the other powers, but he has to have physical contact to do so. So his, probably the one that I would be most afraid of him pairing up against. Oh, we have another donation coming in now.
Chris Yaney, $21 donation.
Very nice.
He said, I think the cartoon Wilson Fisk, I think he said, is the best.
Vincent D'Onofrio, #1.
Yep.
Dan's
over here shaking his head.
The cartoon Wilson Fisk from which one? Which cartoon? The Spider-Man cartoon?
Spider-Man cartoon, I think you said. Yep.
Yeah. It's really good, Wilson Fisk. I just love Daredevil Fisk, or TV Daredevil Fisk.
Petrelli's biggest nemesis is probably going to be Voldemort, because if Voldemort can keep him at distance with his spells, then Petrelli could be hosed.
So to speculate on this really quickly, I would like to say that Voldemort, now we can argue this is a 1-for-1 on a football field to the death situation, but do the Death Eaters come into play? Just imagine the street warfare of Wilson Fisk's heavies, the Death Eaters, and the Cobra Kai all marching through the dark streets of fiction land.
So you're gonna roll deep now? You're gonna bring everybody in?
I'm just saying, like, there's power in numbers, and these are villains.
Because please do not forget about Dumbledore's army. And then we don't even need an entire army. You know, all the cave dwellers from the Matrix movies. We really just need Morpheus and Trinity to back up Neo. And Petrelli's got his brother, who was president. So he's got like the power of the federal government behind him.
All right.
You got guys in black geese.
But they have cobras on them.
And they all live in the same trailer.
It's got to add like +1 charisma at the minimum.
I mean, I'll give you that. You probably have the better outfits.
They are, in fact.
I won't dissuade you from that.
And the best theme song, if I would. They are the best around.
Yeah, I'll give you that too. But I'm not necessarily sure the musicians are going to add much. I mean, unless you count them like field bagpipers trying to, throw morale at your team from the sidelines.
When we discussed this earlier today, I said to you that there's sort of the one thing I have to worry about picking the villains team is that generally villains lose. And that's because
Correct.
There's always a hero to counterbalance against them.
Right.
And it just so happened that you, my friend, have picked one of the exact heroes to my villain. One who, honestly, when Dark Horse gets the comic rights of Matrix versus Terminator, and they will, Neo's got an army of Terminators. And then, I mean, you were the one who watched Heroes, so you probably have to write that story. But I think I legitimately, unless I have the power of numbers, I think I'm boned. And I will support my team to their death. I will stand by their side and I will walk the streets with them. I will wear my dark mark proudly.
You do have the gear for it. I will say that. You do have the gear for it.
I also do have I have my Dark Mark sweatshirt.
There's that concern, though. So, James, I think your absolute best bet, you have to find a way to basically use the anchor, the sandbag, Kim Bauer, to knock out, because she's going to get in trouble at some point.
Oh, yes.
And need rescuing by someone on the team. So your only hope is to try to get her into a situation. So maybe use somebody in the team to try to put her into a situation where she will immediately need to be rescued because it's Kim Bauer. And, that will distract at least, let's see, who's the one that Peter Petrelli would definitely be the one that would try to save her.
He'd have to,
first.
yes. And then leave her in the future to die.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
Boom.
Didn't she spend like an entire season like tied to a radiator or something?
Pretty much. That was season 1, yeah.
And Wilson Fisk could keep her in a basement.
Oh, that I mean,
just to look at occasionally, strangely through glass.
Oh my
he's just gonna nail her to a wall and have her be a new piece of art.
Yes. Very lovely.
I do agree that Peter Petrelli. I do agree that Peter Petrelli would be, she would be his cheerleader. So he would, he would have to. He would have a choice. Neo.
Well, then we're
Neo. Who cares? She's just the blonde chick in the Matrix. The Neo.
Meanwhile, Melissa in the chat's just super thirsty for Milo Ventimiglia right now.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, he's an attractive man. Then when
he needs to stay away from my Rory Gilmore. That's all I'm saying.
Damn it.
Always comes back to Gilmore Girls with me. So, let's see. I keep running into how do you take out Neo? He's a damned Jesus allegory. I would have need to. Never mind. I would have need to have picked. Crap, Pontius Pilate.
Okay.
But I didn't. How do you take down Techno Jesus? So. Does Neo have his powers on the Nebuchadnezzar? Like when he's
he does not have his
the realm
full powers outside of the Matrix, but since he is one with the Matrix, and he basically has that connection to the Matrix, as the Oracle says, going back to the Matrix's inception, he does sense things. So he can be on the Nebuchadnezzar and sense when those squid machines are coming to attack.
Oh, yeah, cyber jellyfish.
Yeah. He can sense them, but he doesn't have the same kind of like snap, you're done that he does when he's plugged into the Matrix.
This is the game. That's it. Because the term I was confusing myself by thinking that this was happening in the world in which Neo is known. This isn't within the Matrix. There's no chick in the red dress and rotoscoping 3D cyber kung fu. No. This is the real world with magic and Wilson Fisk.
Say Jalevi, $5 donation in the chat. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much. It just said testing. Yes, your test worked. Thank you.
The test successful.
Success. Guys, less than $200 to go before more hashtag moonshine for Drew.
Oh, that sounds delicious. So to bring it back, and please, yay donations. If we're on Earth or we're on some prime material plane, Terminator's just firing a bullet through his cyberpunky ass. He's just a man with a surfer haircut.
But who's to say that this isn't all part of the Matrix?
Right.
You mean even this right now? Oh, shit. Dan, which pill did you take? Did you take the red pill or the blue pill, Dan?
I forget which one does which.
Dan took them both. Are we screwed?
That's the purple pill. No, that one's just grapey grape.
Oh, it's just grape. Never mind. You're good.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
Ask him if he has a problem. Never mind. Sometimes I need to gauge audiences. So I would say then that we come to an impasse as to the field of battle. If we are dealing with a Matrix cyberscape, well then it doesn't matter. Neo won anyway. You didn't even need two other guys. It was just Neo all along. But if we're on Earth, if we're in a world, I would say that he would know the Terminator's there. He could sense that perhaps there was someone knocking door to door looking for Sarah Neo. But at the end, it's still just a man with a giant gun and a metallic exoskeleton versus a really, really boss trench coat. To you, sir.
I mean, I get where you're trying to come from. And I will not dissuade you that it could be a good argument. However, we have to take all of the TV and movie and book multiverses and we have to make them all live together in one giant MCU clusterfuck.
That's true.
Because there is no Cobra Kai at Hogwarts. So if you're going to have Johnny Lawrence and Voldemort, then we have to assume that everything... Don't roll your eyes at me like that. We have to assume that everything is congealed under one giant umbrella, as it were. So this is all plugged into part of the Matrix.
To be fair, I was more rolling your eyes at the idea that there isn't Cobra Kai at Hogwarts, because if I went there, you're damn right there would be.
Okay, so where's your letter?
All you got to do is just teach some of those Slytherin bastards how to do some, karate chops and stuff. You'd be fine.
You can imagine, Crab and Goyle and Draco, dressed in the skeleton outfits.
I can totally see Draco as Johnny Lawrence.
It's an easy 1-for-1.
Disc VC Geek donated $20, and he said George sent him. Thank you so much for the $20 donation. There he is.
Thanks, George.
No, he said, and he just said in the chat, "Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, Snape."
Yes.
Was that your Alan Rickman?
20 points.
Now you got to do the whole rest of the segment in that voice.
Oh, crap.
Oh, you're hosed.
I'm
shit.
Hosed. Web.
See, we had a very short-lived segment where we did.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daisy had $100 donation, and I just missed the. Hang on, now I got to open it because I just missed the.
Yeah, please.
The in loving memory thing in there. That was a $100 donation, guys. $54 away from more moonshine for Drew, and $7,000 for a future immune to cancer, guys. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the amazing donations. And yeah, I want to read that. I want to read that dedication. It's going to take me just a moment here to load it. It goes away so fast, and then I'm like, whoa.
And while you are loading that up, just to remind all the people that donate during our time here, we have some giveaways for the top donators.
Yes.
Scratch the Surface, the Dice shot glasses. We have a gift certificate from Really Shameless, which is a nerdy vinyl decal company, and a pack of paint from turbodork.com.
So that was so it was from a Daisy Head $100 donation in loving memory of your brother / uncle Rob. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very, very much.
That made me misty.
Man, almost 7K. Jesus.
It's wonderful.
You guys are crushing it. You guys are absolutely amazing.
7,000 with 2 days to go. That's... Whew. I got to tell you, I've had the stream on since you guys started on Thursday night, and just watching, like, we kicked off at 10% and just watching how the percentage has been climbing every hour of every day.
It's amazing. It's beyond
it's absolutely
words.
amazing.
I don't even have words for it. It's so amazing to see the amazing generosity of
Here comes the money.
and there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Officially 7000. That's another donation from Destruction in Human Form, Mr. Jared Taylor, rounding it off to $7,000 for cancer research, guys. 70%, baby. Put it up.
Did we miss 69?
Yeah, Jared ignored Christiani's instructions in the chat to donate it so we could get it to 69.
Nice.
Oh man, thank you so much, Jared. And guys, 7K, baby. 7K.
Congratulations. That is on Friday night. That's fantastic.
That's crazy.
My God in heaven, guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. I mean, legitimately, I'm blown away this year. I'm absolutely blown away. God.
Well,
what were we doing? Were we doing team stuff? Huh? What happened?
what?
Before we throw everything back over to you, Nick, and have you crown the champion for absolutely zero title or trophy between Hatton and myself, only bragging rights.
Prestigious.
I would probably say the next 30 podcasts or so. I'm sure the winner will keep bringing this up. But I want to say personally, thank you and Dan and everybody else who puts this together year after year. You and I have had conversations about why this specifically is important to me.
Yes, absolutely.
So personally, thank you, and thank you, the royal thank you from everybody who's watching, everybody who's a part of this. This is a absolutely monstrous undertaking. I can't even conceive of all the work that you guys do probably throughout the year, even just leading up to this. I'm sure once this is over on Sunday, you'll take a break Monday. Tuesday, you start figuring out stuff for next year. It's an ongoing process, but you, sir, have the biggest shoulders of all because you keep making this thing happen year after year. And if nothing else, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's worth it. And I've run, and of course, your dad's picture is in the little slideshow we've been showing at different times throughout the stream and everything. But it's all for the benefit of right above my head, right up here, a future immune to cancer, because that is a future that I want to live in. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So thank you. God, man. So much amazing. So much. God, stop making me misty. Get out of here, Rob. Son of a bitch. But
congratulations.
Told you, James, you're not allowed to use another voice except for that one. The whole rest of the stream here.
What happens if I start going into Kermit? What happens if I start going full on Kermit?
Well, here, listen, we've got an Epic Film Frog. I can bring him in here.
This is Epic Film Frog here, and I want to tell you, go fuck yourself.
Oh, that was uncalled for. That's not.
Wow,
guys, I'm sorry.
What kind of language is that? We don't have that language down on Something Cast Street.
That's such a good Kermit. Oh my God, I love it. That's such a good Kermit. Oh my God in heaven. My God. Oh.
Rob was mentioning we did, and they're available still up on the website. We did a series of shows. They're all like 2 minutes each, where we took famous movie scenes and we did impressions over them. So it would be, Christopher Walken in A Few Good Men. It was the Swedish Chef was in one of them. Do you remember what they were, Rob?
We did Christopher Walken and Scooby-Doo doing the iocane powder scene from Princess Bride.
Yes.
We did the Joker and Charlie in the Box doing a scene from Tombstone, I think it was.
Oh my
That's right, my Huckleberry.
But we would take famous movie conversations and just redo the dialogue. It started with Gollum and Kenny and I forget who the third one was, but from A Few Good Men, we did the courtroom scene, and Kenny did the Jack Nicholson monologue. And I have to say, it is the hardest I've ever seen Hatton laugh, because you knew what Kenny was saying, but you couldn't tell what Kenny was saying because the entire Jack Nicholson monologue was, and we thought it was funny as hell, and we did it for a good while, and then we took a pause on it. But yeah,
just another bullet in this gun.
Click, click, boom.
All right, Nick. All comes down to you.
Okay, so again, James has Lord Voldemort, Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, specifically from the Daredevil TV show, and the T-800 Terminator. Sandbag, however, is Johnny Lawrence. On Podcast Rob's team, we have Harry Potter. Harry Potter. If Justin was here, that's how he does it every time. That's how Justin says it every single time. We have Neo, the One. And we have Peter Petrelli. And then legitimately the worst possible sandbag a team could have, Kim Bauer, who is just... Remember when she brings a baby to work? Like at CT, like...
It's not even her baby. She just found it on the street.
Yeah.
I have to give you that one, Hatton. I thought I was giving it good with Johnny Lawrence because he's just like... He's kind of a bully, but he's just a pushover to anybody else in any sort of authority. But if we were going on sandbags alone, I have to defer to Kim Bauer. That's
to Johnny's credit, where he may at one moment or two he may have a bad spine at times when it comes to Sensei. He did win the All Valley multiple times.
Oh my.
Yeah, but he lost to a dude with one leg.
That's fair enough. So it's because when crane kicking done well, no defense.
True.
So I say, like, oh man, Chris Yaney donated $69. Never diss Elisha Cuthbert. I'm not dissing Elisha Cuthbert. She's amazing. I love her. Kim Bauer was a terrible character. Kim Bauer was never a good character, and that's not her fault either. That's from a writing perspective. The writing for her character was terrible, literally the entire run of 24 for the most part. They tried to make her useful in season 3, and they just failed at that too, somehow. But, here's what I'm going to say. I think, James, all of the credit in the world to you for legitimately pulling the greatest sandbag out of your hat that you possibly could have. Because even if you take away, however, one person from Rob's team, if I cut anybody out of his team because they're having to deal with the Kim situation, which there will be a Kim situation, guaranteed, even if you pull out Harry Potter, I still think Neo and Peter got the rest of the other team. If you pull out Neo, I still think that Harry and Peter Petrelli still have the other team. You could pull out Peter Petrelli. I still think that Harry and Neo have the rest of the team because I mean you shot yourself in the foot when you were like, I don't love to pick villains and then it's like you said, he immediately picks the Harry Potter to your Voldemort, and we know how that battle plays out. We already know how that battle plays out, and when we just look at it the rest of the way around, I think even with the king of all sandbags, and you should get special kudos for that, but I've got to give this one to Podcast Rob. I've got to hand it over to Rob for that one. Because
saw that coming.
It's just, man, I mean, you could even if you have like 100 Cobra Kais in there, I mean, what are they going to do to Neo when he like flies up in the air and like just clones himself a million times? Or no, that's Agent Smith. Never mind. I'm forgetting my Matrix stuff. But even still, like Neo can just fly up in the air and like just move things. Like forget it. Just forget
spin in 360 and turn into 100 different versions of him.
You can't even. And then I mean, even if you pit up like the Terminator against Peter Petrelli, like can't learn anything from the Terminator, but Peter Petrelli can get enough power. Like he's got enough powers that the Terminator's not going to be an issue for him. Like not even close.
Next time, Rob, you and I do one of these, because I've noticed this. We have to start playing like 3 moves ahead, because I should have recognized you were going to have Peter Petrelli. I just should have known. It's you. You love heroes.
Oh, bye.
I don't think I expected.
I love how
Harry
it started. Didn't necessarily end well.
Well, it seems Harry Potter has bested me again.
So since the decision has been made, I will throw you this one gratis, mon frere.
Oh, please.
I think your defense should have been, much like he did in the movie, have the T-800 sacrifice himself for the good of the team, because if he can manage to EMP himself, then he basically completely shuts Neo out of the equation altogether.
Fair. Very fair point.
Now, similarly, I expected the response sandbag of, well, if Kim Bauer's in trouble, you know who's coming to save her. Chloe! Right around the corner, I thought you were just gonna be like, well, now I have Kiefer. Brilliant.
Yeah, no, I didn't even, he's got enough on his plate every day.
Just those,
just the fact that she was stuck an entire 24 hours tied to a radiator. Like, he couldn't be bothered to, take a lunch break and go save her. That show went terrible anyway.
When it got to the point where every single episode was like, oh, we would have stopped it if we just answered the phone call that stopped ringing by the time we ran into the room, I was out.
Yeah.
Well, crud. Audience, folks in the Twitch chat, who would you vote for? And this is a fight based on solely snappiest dressers.
This is snappiest dressers.
So I'm going to put the teams over here in the chat. And you guys in the chat, yeah, let us know whose team you guys like more.
How's that for snappy dresser?
I get to be Star Child. That's pretty cool.
You do, and I get to be Jean. So
that
that's
is
cool.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. Oh my Lord! Well, while the chat weighs in, guys,
yes.
and we wrap out the segment here, please let our audience know where they can find you guys out there on the web and everything like that.
The easiest place to find everything Rob and Hatton is to go to somethingcast.com. It has all of the buttons and widgets and doodads. You can find us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play and Stitcher and all those other great places. And also, if you want other glasses or vinyl or t-shirts of various types, shop.somethingcast.com is the repository where we have all of our stuff, the creative outlets that Hatton and I do to try to do a little side hustle. So definitely check us out over there. And more importantly, stick around after we leave. We are a mere drop in the ocean of Livestream for the Cure. So definitely stick around. There's still 2 more days of amazing shows to come up.
Oh my goodness. Yes, there's so
stick
much
with
great
them.
content left to come. Please make sure you guys stick around. But please find everything you can for the Something cast out there online. I promise you will not regret it. They are absolutely amazing. You gentlemen, are you going to give away the stuff on the air, or are you going to just do it after the show?
I already have contact information from a Daisy Head. So if Sione and Jared could go to somethingcast.com, get the link to our email there, which is somethingcast@gmail.com, and just let us know your contact info on where we can send this stuff out. Daisy Head is the top donor, so I will find out from her what she wants, and then you guys will have your pick of the other 2, and we'll do it through the email. That cool with you guys?
That is perfect. That is absolutely perfect. So, you wonderful gentlemen, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. And I'm sorry, James. Yeah, it looks like
I get it.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. We have 2 votes for Team Rob in the chat, but then I just saw Deb Kinney came in there. Team James. I'm a Death Eater by nature, she says.
Thank you, Blood Scarlet. There are dozens of us.
Dozens.
Literally tens of you.
Yes.
All right,
One of them, Death Eater Ravenclaws. There's not many of us.
Tell your cats and dogs. Yes, Christiane, we will tell your cats and dogs. So yeah, Chris and Jared, congratulations on winning those 2 prizes. Head over to, again, the link in the chat there, somethingcast.com, and shoot them over a message so that way you guys can get hooked up with your prizes. We are, unfortunately, going to have to bid farewell to the amazing gentlemen from the Something Cast.
Nick, thank you.
You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the chat. We're going to say goodbye to them, and then in just a few moments, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be joined by, I think I named this at one point in time. At some point, I named them as my absolute favorite podcast out there, or one of them, absolutely one of them. We are going to be joined by the amazing gentlemen from the Interrupted Tales podcast, Alan and Rob. But before we do that, Drew Hallam, get your beautiful self in here because you owe us a shot of moonshine, my friend. There he is. He's just waiting. He knows. He knows. Look at this beautiful man. I can't hear you, Drew. I can't hear you. Come. Drew, speak to me, Drew. I need you. Come to me, please. Please. Oh, I can hear you faintly, like very, very faintly, like barely. Nope, nothing. Nope. Did you spill moonshine all over your equipment? Is that what happened, Drew? Our next jerky isn't until 8,000, Melissa. We only do them every 2,000. I think, guys, we got him so messed up. I think he spilled moonshine all over his equipment. That's my headcanon. I can hear him. I think what it is, it's got to be a cable issue because I can hear you, but I can hear you very, very faintly. So maybe you got a loose cable or something. You spilled moonshine all over it. Don't lie to us. Oh my lord! Yeah, Danny, that's very correct. We don't need to hear him for him to be able to take a shot. Oh, Drew Hallam, you beautiful, beautiful man. I love you so much. I'm so sorry we can't get your audio working. Cheers, my friend. Oh, what a guy. Thank you so much, Drew. I love you, brother. Thank you so much. We'll see you at 8,000, my friend.